I was going to start off this episode with the quote, "Timing is everything." But as it turns out, it's been attributed to dozens of different people. But either way, timing is really everything, especially in politics. With that in mind, let's talk about Tulsi Gabbard, Trump's Director of National Intelligence. Ms. Gabbard has lobbed a grenade at Barack Obama, accusing him of orchestrating a, quote, treasonous conspiracy, end quote, to sabotage Trump's 2016 victory with fake Russian interference claims. It's a story dripping with declassified documents, DOJ referrals, and a suspicious whiff of distraction from Trump's Epstein file woes. Is this a bombshell exposing a deep state coup? Or just another chapter in Trump's Obama obsession? I think it's time we talked about just that. Hello, listeners, and welcome to another edition of Back Porch Files from your neighbor on the left, the podcast about liberal politics, human decency, and life on the blue side of America's ideological divide. I am your host, Don Spielis, and today we're diving into Tulsi Gabbard's explosive accusations against Barack Obama and his national security team. She claims declassified documents prove they've cooked up a fake narrative about Russian interference in the 2016 election to undermine Trump's presidency. But do the documents hold up? Is this a distraction from Trump's Epstein troubles? And why is Trump still fixated on Obama nearly a decade later? I'm going to break it down from the document's validity to the difference between election fraud and election interference. So grab your coffee, mute your notifications, and let's get to it. So let's start with the meat of Gabbard's accusations. As Director of National Intelligence, she dropped a bombshell just last week, claiming that declassified documents, 114 pages of emails, memos, and a 2017 House Intelligence Committee report prove Obama and his team, including James Clapper, John Brennan, James Comey, Susan Rice, and others, engaged in a, quote, treasonous conspiracy, end quote. Her story? After Trump's 2016 win, Obama's crew manufactured intelligence to claim Russia had interfered to help Trump, aiming to spark a years-long coup via the Mueller investigation, impeachments, and heightened U.S.-Russia tensions. She points to a December 2016 meeting where Obama allegedly pushed for a new Intelligence Community Assessment, or ICA, that contradicted earlier findings, relying on the sketchy Steele dossier. Gabbard's memo calls this a deliberate lie to subvert Trump's mandate, and she's referred it to the DOJ for prosecution. Sounds like a Hollywood thriller, doesn't it? But here's where the plot frays. The documents, mostly emails and a Republican-led 2017 House report, don't quite deliver the smoking gun Gabbard promises. They show pre-election assessments from 2016, like a September email stating Russia was probably not using cyber attacks to influence the election, and Clapper's December talking points saying no cyber attacks altered vote outcomes. Gabbard claims these prove the post-election ICA, released on January 6, 2017, was fabricated to pin interference on Russia. But the ICA never said Russia hacked voting systems. It focused on influence operations like social media disinformation, bot farms, and the DNC email hack leaked to WikiLeaks. The documents confirm bureaucratic debates and a rush to finalize the ICA before Obama left office, but there's no evidence of Obama directing a conspiracy or falsifying intelligence. The Steele dossier? It was a minor input, not the ICA's backbone, as Gabbard suggests. Her claim of a coup leans on a partisan House report that Democrats didn't endorse, and it's more about procedural gripes than proof of treason. So Gabbard's serving spicy rhetoric, but the documents are more lukewarm leftovers than a 5-alarm fire. Now let's talk about these documents as far as their credibility is concerned. Gabbard's release includes real declassified materials, emails, memos, and a 2017 House Intelligence Committee report drafted by Republicans. They're authentic in the sense that they're not forged. They come from official sources, some marked declassified on July 17, 2025. But here's the rub. Their validity as evidence of a conspiracy is shaky at best. The emails show Obama officials like Clapper and Brennan discussing Russia's actions in 2016 with some pre-election caution about overstating cyber interference. The 2017 House report, led by GOP figures like Devin Nunes, criticizes the ICA's process. Too few analysts, reliance on the dossier, and Brennan's alleged bias, but doesn't dispute Russia's interference itself. It's a partisan document never endorsed by Democrats, and its findings were overshadowed by the bipartisan 2020 Senate Intelligence Committee report, which upheld the ICA. 4 major investigations: Mueller's 2019 report, a 2019 DOJ Inspector General report, the 2020 Senate report, and John Durham's 2023 probe found no evidence of politicization in the ICA. Even John Ratcliffe, Trump's CIA director, issued a 2025 review praising the ICA's analytical rigor, while raising minor process issues. Gabbard's documents don't contradict these findings. They cherry-pick pre-election caution to exaggerate a post-election shift. And her claim that the Steele dossier drove the ICA is flat out wrong. The dossier was unverified and supplementary, not central. The documents are real, but Gabbard's interpretation is a stretch, like trying to turn a parking ticket into a grand larceny charge. And here's why I mentioned timing at the beginning of the episode. This is where the plot thickens with the side of political sleaze. Gabbard dropped her accusation on July 18th, 2025, just as Trump's facing a firestorm over his bungling of the Jeffrey Epstein files. MAGA supporters are furious that Attorney General Pam Bondi released only partial Epstein documents, with key grand jury testimony still under wraps due to court rulings. Ex-posts from Trump's base cheer Gabbard's move as a critical step towards accountability, but Democrats like Senator Mark Warner call it a desperate distraction. They've got a point. Trump's been under pressure to fully declassify the Epstein files, and his team's dodging while pointing fingers at Obama. It's classic misdirection. When the heat is on, change the subject. The timing screams strategy. Gabbard's July 23rd White House press briefing hyped a 44-page House report coincided with Trump's sharing AI-generated images of Obama in a mugshot. It's almost like they're trying to bury the Epstein story under a pile of Russiagate rehashes. As one Trump ally told Politico, this is catnip for the president, perfectly timed to shift focus from his Epstein woes. Democrats, like Representative Jim Himes, aren't buying it, calling it utter nonsense to deflect from Trump's refusal to release sensitive files. The Epstein saga is a mess. Trump's base wants dirt on elites, but his team's stalling. Gabbard's Obama accusations feel like a convenient smoke bomb to keep MAGA riled up and distracted. And as long as we're talking about distractions, let's talk about President Trump's fixation on Barack Obama. It's like a bad rom-com where he can't stop texting his ex. Since 2016, Trump's called the Russian investigation a hoax orchestrated by Obama's deep state, blaming him for everything from the Mueller probe to his impeachments. In 2025, he's still at it, reposting Gabbard's claims on Truth Social and sharing memes of Obama in prison jumpsuits. He's called it the crime of the century, accusing Obama of personally manufacturing the Russian narrative. This isn't just politics, it's personal. Trump's long believed that the Russia probe undermined his 2016 win's legitimacy, and Obama's the perfect scapegoat for his grievances. Social media posts amplified this obsession, where MAGA loyalists who insist on referring to the former president as just Hussein post things like, Gabbard is debunking Hussein's lies line by line, or posts quoting Fox News and suggesting that Obama could be arrested any minute now. Obama's office isn't sweating it, dismissing the claims as a weak attempt at distraction. Trump's vendetta ignores the reality. Obama's role in the Russia probe was minimal, focused on preserving evidence before leaving office. Trump's fixation feels less like justice and more like a grudge match, with Gabbard as his latest attack dog. It's a tired rerun, but the MAGA crowd is eating it up. And here's a little twist of irony that the Gabbard and Trump fans have conveniently overlooked. Even if their wild accusations against Obama held any water, and spoiler alert, they're about as sturdy as a beach umbrella in a hurricane, Trump's own judicial legacy would slam the door on any prosecution. Thanks to the Supreme Court's 2024 ruling in Trump versus the United States, pushed by Trump's hand-picked justices, presidents now enjoy sweeping immunity for official acts. So, if Obama did orchestrate some shadowy intelligence plot in 2016 as part of his official duties, the same MAGA-friendly court that Trump brags about would have to toss Gabbard's DOJ referral faster than you can say irony. Picture it. Trump, obsessed with locking up Obama, inadvertently built a legal shield for him. It's like handing your nemesis a get-out-of-jail-free card and then screaming when they use it. And there have been some posts on social media that are pointing out Trump's victory lap over immunity might just be Obama's ultimate checkmate. But none of that really matters in this case, because the Russia interference wasn't a hoax. Let's set the record straight, because Trump's hoax mantra doesn't hold water. In 2017, the ICA, backed by the FBI, CIA, and NSA, concluded Russia ran a, quote, sweeping and systematic, end quote, influence campaign to help Trump and hurt Hillary Clinton. This wasn't about hacking voting machines. It was about social media disinformation, bot farms, and leaking hacked DNC emails via WikiLeaks. The Mueller report in 2019, a bipartisan 2020 Senate Intelligence Committee report, a 2019 Department of Justice Inspector General report, and John Durham's 2023 probe all confirmed Russia's actions. The Senate report, led by Republicans like Marco Rubio, found irrefutable evidence of Kremlin efforts to sow discord and boost Trump, though it didn't prove campaign collusion. Even Trump's own DNI, John Ratcliffe, admitted in 2020 that Russia interfered to sow discord. Gabbard's claim that the ICA was manufactured ignores this mountain of evidence. The DNC hack, traced to Russian GRU agents, led to leaks that Trump himself hyped on the campaign trail. Social media campaigns run by Russia's Internet Research Agency reached millions with divisive ads. These aren't theories, they're facts, verified across multiple investigations. Trump's hoax narrative thrives on conflating lack of collusion with lack of interference. But the evidence is clear. Russia meddled, and it wasn't Obama's imagination. Gabbard's trying to rewrite history, but 4 major probes say she's selling snake oil. And her sleight of hand is sneaky, I'll give her that. But let's break it down. Election fraud means tampering with votes or voting systems. Think hacked voting machines or stuffed ballot boxes. Election interference is broader, influencing voters through disinformation, propaganda, cyber attacks like the DNC hack. Gabbard's documents focus on fraud, citing pre-election notes that Russia didn't have the capability to overturn vote outcomes. She uses this to claim no interference happened. But that's a bait and switch. The 2017 ICA never claimed Russia altered votes. It documented interference via social media, fake news, and leaks to undermine Clinton and sow chaos. For example, Russian bots pushed divisive ads on X and Facebook, reaching 126 million Americans. The DNC hack exposed emails that fueled media firestorms. This wasn't about changing vote tallies, it was about shaping voter perceptions. Gabbard's memo conflates the two to downplay interference, but every major probe agrees Russia didn't commit fraud, but it did interfere. Trump and Gabbard's focus on no vote tampering is a red herring to dodge the real issue. Russia's influence campaign was real, and it played dirty. So, to sum up, Tulsi Gabbard's accusations against Obama promise a blockbuster scandal but deliver a dud. Her documents show bureaucratic squabbles, not a treasonous coup. The timing, conveniently dodging Trump's Epstein file drama, and his relentless Obama obsession tell us this is more about politics than truth. The Russian interference of 2016 was not a hoax. It was a verified influence campaign, not vote tampering, no matter how Gabbard spins it. And we can be sure that this one's going to drag on for a while. But I, for one, think it's time to forget it. All right, folks, I'm done. That's enough on this subject for today's episode of Back Porch Files. As always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to listen to what I have to say. Please reach out on social media, any one of our social media platforms. Let us know what you think. You can find the links to those social media platforms on our Linktree page, and the Linktree address is in the episode description. You can also reach out to us via email at neighboroutleftpodcast@gmail.com. I'd love to hear what you have to say, especially on this topic. This one's getting a lot of wind behind it on social media. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'll be back next week with another full episode on Tuesday. Until then, stay sharp, stay focused, listen for the truth, and as always, have the week you voted for.